Hello everyone, and welcome once again to the Heir's Lair. I'm your host, Jonathan Taylor. Today's video, as the title may have already given away, is going to be another writing advice video, because I haven't done one of those in a while, and I finally found something that I think I can bring some useful expertise, into something I can talk about from a position of at least some level of authority. And that topic, as can once again be gleaned from the title, is dream sequences, or how to effectively integrate dreams within your narratives. You remember what dreams are, right? Those things you see or experience might be a better word for it when you're asleep. Yeah, those. I won't go too deep into the science behind them because a lot of it is kind of disputed. Um, but I will, mention about that topic insofar as it is narrative, insofar as it is noteworthy for the purposes of its integration within a narrative, where for my money at least, it can most effectively be employed in order to analyze characterization and theme, or as a or as a point of analysis within discussions such as this. But before I go into how to use dreams in order to enhance your story, I should perhaps start with, yeah. Sorry, my hair is a little bit of a mess, even though I brushed it recently. Um, Anyway, before I go too deep into how to use dreams within your story, I should first tell you about how to, about what dreams actually are. And to some extent, I already mentioned it. They are events that you experience when you're asleep. Why does that make them noteworthy? Why is it noteworthy for you to experience something when you're asleep? Well, it means that you will, if you do dream, that means that very much by definition, you or your mind is going through something, even though you are, inactive and you aren't really responding to any observable external stimulation. And I distinctly draw the line at observable because due to dreams having a having something of an abstract and elusive nature, with the many events that many elements that they feature either fading in and out or blending together in ways that don't seem to have any logical cohesion. uh, there have been a variety of both mythologies and folkloric traditions that ascribe some level of supernatural meaning to them, either as creations of some external entity, or as a pathway towards communing with the supernatural. More recent, more science-based observations, ones which have actually primarily explored uh, uh, the brain insofar as its mechanisms for sleep are actually involved, have caused the dreams themselves to become recontextualized to the point where, on a physiological level, there is actually plenty that is known and understood quite well when it comes to dreams. Most of the dispute comes into what comes when it comes within the content of it. And while there is some attempt at analyzing the actual content of dreams scientifically, there is still, they are still subject to a quite obvious blind spot, given that only soft scientific observations can occur. But again, as I said, I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about how dreams can be employed within a narrative. And through these two approaches or analysis schools when it comes to dreams, there are two approaches of how dreams can be used within literature, either as a gateway to a character's mind, or as a gateway to the supernatural aspects of the world. I'm going to start this video by talking about the okay, not start the video, start my uh, start the core of it by talking about dreams as a creation of the mind, because I think it is because I think it is in exploring that topic that one really gets to understand what makes dreams noteworthy and meaningful as a narrative device. Because if we accept that dreams are entirely the creation of the mind, or if your story operates on that being the logic behind dreams, well, then that means that whatever a character dreams about is entirely created by the mind, which in turn makes dreams a very interesting tool towards exploring the mind of the character. That exploration will be somewhat elusive because, as I've already said, dreams don't necessarily have to follow um, the logical cohesion uh, that the rest of the story is supposed to follow. However, in creating the dream, the mind still has to utilize a specific kernel, a specific reference pool that is unique to the character, uh, and uh, and in that way, and in that way, make some and in that way some level of a statement can be made, either about the character themselves or about their role within the story they are a part of, or perhaps a broader statement on the about the story itself. As the author here, you have all the cards. You typically have all the cards as the author, uh, but here but here it is arguably a little bit more the case. I already mentioned that actually in my video about writing intelligence. So and I'm pretty much following the same logic here, because as the author, you know what kind of story you're trying to tell. Um, you know what your character's personality is, and you also have a good idea of what their background is supposed to be, which means that you have a good idea of the level of what kind of reference pool they would employ, or their mind would pull upon in order to create a dream. Your, your any dream sequence you write from that point, from utilizing these elements, should should in that sense mirror either the broader story or the specific character who has the dream in a more but perhaps in a more abstract manner, one that allows readers something to delve into, something to explore when all is said and done. When it comes to visualizing dreams as a method of communing with the supernatural, things become exponentially more complex. The basic idea is still the same. You're still utilizing the context of one person's mind in order to convey in order to convey an understanding of what is going on within either within the world or within the mind itself. However, because it's no longer a singular mind that creates the dream, the reference pool that you can employ suddenly not just balloons, but has the potential to actually full out explode. So so you have to be a little bit more careful with with what kinds of references you're employing. Maybe even showcase characters becoming initiated within this within any kind of uh, in some manner that expands their knowledge pool to the extent there would be able to fully understand or comprehend the the context that is presented to them over the course of over the course of the dream sequence. Compounding upon that are two additional factors. The first of which is how exactly is the exact nature of the communion with the supernatural, whether it's a whether it's a simple discussion or an abstract gauntlet of riddles and questions that can only be decoded retroactively. So, so you have a lot of flexibility in that, which is which is a good thing. But you still need to anchor it in terms of who the participating characters are, and that doesn't just mean the dreamer themselves, but also whatever entity the dreamer interacts with. If you are to make sure that the dynamics and the imagery that is employed and that ends up playing a role or unfolding over the course of the dream, does actually make sense and enrich the narrative. The second factor the second complicating factor is the fact that communion with the supernatural often involves some kind of ritual, and the same could be the case here, either within the dream itself or in the or within the factors outside of the dream. Be that ambience, be that be that a set of activities, or be that or be that a specific sentence that has to be uttered, or some combination thereof. All of which do have the potential of playing into what the actual dream is, or of influencing the dynamic of the communion that the characters are attempting. So yeah, in brief, this aspect of dreaming is a little bit more complex, but the basics are still there. It's still about a mind utilizing a specific set of references in order to conjure or illustrate a specific concept, either of itself or of some part of the world, around itself. And again, you as the author have the advantage in that sense, because you know what it is that you are trying to represent. Now you just have to find a way to represent that in a more specific way. It's a tricky ordeal, but I trust in you. I think you can do it. And yeah, that was my video. Thank you for your attention. If you've enjoyed it, well then please like the video. Maybe even share it wherever you think other people will also like the video. If there is anything you'd like to add, either to the topic itself or to my implementation suggestions, that's what the comment section is for. Sorry about that. And if you want to see when my next video gets released, well then please subscribe. And ideally also ring the bell or do whatever else YouTube will ask of you in order to keep you notified. My books, the first of my own Heir to the Empire series, The Next Generation and Path Not Taken, are available at various book retailers under their respective master links in the description down below, right past my social media links, which I would suggest you check out should you choose to. Additionally, I have a second channel where you can hear me talking about, whatever crosses my mind. Sometimes it'll be gameplay, sometimes it'll be commentary on a variety of different topics, but most of the time I'm talking about narrative analyses of works outside of the printed word medium. So if that sounds like it could be interesting to you, go ahead and check it out. If you want to hear more about my thoughts on the printed word or literary medium, then I suggest you stay on this channel and go for my extensive backlog of the occasional writing advice, but mostly book reviews, and sometimes some miscellaneous connected topics. If none of that sounds interesting to you, then I suggest you go ahead and do whatever you want the rest of your day, because it is your day after all. And yeah, that was it from me. So until next time, I am Jonathan Taylor, and this has been the Heir's Lair.